Hello? Oh, there. Okay. There might be a little echo there for a second. Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm super excited to be here with you. I hope that we are going to have an awesome time today. Yay! So, as you can see, my easel, where is it? Right there. It's empty. It's empty. Thanks. I'm trying really hard to learn how to wear it down. My bangs are so long, and I think I want to grow them out, and I don't know what to do with them except go like that. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and I'm trying not to wear my hair pulled up into a ponytail constantly. And I have makeup on for you guys today because I am recording also. So, and you can see me in this week's video. So I was like, dang it, I have to put makeup on. So yeah, usually I put makeup on like once a week, and that's when I film my intro and outro. I'll put on a little mascara for you guys once in a while, but yeah, full makeup today. And now probably tomorrow, because I'm not going to finish recording today. So I'm going to have to finish tomorrow. But, yeah, I actually have been recording all day. So my easel is empty, but that's because I'm going to show you what we're going to do next week in a little bit. But it's not done. So I don't want you guys to be disappointed. Don't be disappointed. That's right. Makeup is for the special guests. That's you guys. So, okay, let's jump over to here. So, for those of you who have never been to hello, Gretchen, and anyone else that I missed. I think I missed a bunch of people, and I'm really sorry. Gretchen had shorty bangs. Shorty bangs are good. That's how I roll. I either roll no bangs or shorty bangs. Thank you, Donna. So if you've never been to one of these before, let me kind of tell you how this goes. I'm all set up to paint. Today, guys, I'm using, just because I have a ton of this stuff for some weird reason, it's just this Strathmore acrylic paper. It's just paper, and it's just cheap stuff. I just got it at Michael's, probably on sale. I know my camera is a little bit yellow right now, but maybe we can just pretend that it's not, because I don't want to change the white balance, because then the last half of next week's video will look different than the first half. Hello, Jennifer. So I'm just using acrylic paper today. I use it occasionally just to like work out ideas, not ever to like do a serious painting on, just to work out ideas. Let me see if I can change the white balance on my computer, because that's really quite yellow, but I just really don't want to change it on my, what's happening here? Whoa, that was not what I wanted. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe if we turn that down a little. Okay, we're going to call that good. Okay, no, that's still quite yellow. Anyway, so I'm going to ask you guys for suggestions along the way. And you guys just start throwing out ideas. Sometimes I'll kind of glom onto something that somebody says, but sometimes I break my own rule and you don't really direct me, in that somebody will say something that sparks an idea in me, and it may not have been anything that anybody requested, but it gives me an idea and I kind of run with it. But I ask you for ideas as we go. I still explain to you what it is that I'm doing, you know, everything. So, and you guys are free to paint these, absolutely, and you are free to share them on social media. I just ask that you use the hashtag Patreonster. That way I can find them and everybody knows that you are special and you got to see a video that they didn't. So, all right. So what kind of ideas do we have for this week? What do we want to see this week? A seascape, an ocean, and a ship? I don't know how to paint a ship. I mean, I'll do it if that's what you want, but it's probably going to look like a little kid, you know, the little arc with the triangle on the top. Another seascape, a still life with fruit, a lighthouse, a yellow ochre sky, a covered bridge. Wow, we have lots and lots of ideas, most of which revolve around water. So let's stick with that. Lots of seascapes. Should we do a seascape? Maybe we should do a seascape. A surf wave pulling a dead flower into the sea. That's very specific, Gretchen. Hello, Ashley. Who else did I miss? Lisa, I missed Lisa. Okay, so let's go with seascape to start. We'll leave specifics for a little bit, okay? Let's not get into specifics right now. Okay. Just an assortment of brushes. Half of these were wet, and so I didn't want to put them in my jar. The other half, I'm not sure if they're wet or not, so I just laid them on there. But I have all of my brushes here, not just these. Let's see. I have my matte medium, of course. My black, my white. Any of you who were here for the last one, did you get your fancy powders that we used? So here's the one we did last time for those of you who weren't there. This is the one that we did last time. And see, it's all metallic-y because we used Pearl X powders, which was a lot of fun. And I know a bunch of people ran out and bought some. So if you bought some and you've used them, let me know how that was. What have you used them for? And also, I need an underpainting color. Tell me, yeah, I know, Michelle's not here. Tell me what color we want to underpaint. Now remember, the point of underpainting is to kind of complement and give something to the painting that it won't have on its own. So I say that to say we don't want to use, you know, blue or green or gray for a blue or green or gray painting. You know, we want to use something that's going to kind of complement it. Close down your lungs. Oh my gosh, Gretchen, that's horrible. Sure, you can still go back and watch it. You'll just have to scroll in Patreon to find it. And you can still watch it after the fact. You can watch any of the videos after the fact. If you just scroll through Patreon, anything that has a link on it, you can click it and you can still watch it. Purple, magenta, orange, orange. Well, I'm glad that you made it, Ashley. Yeah, I've been wanting to include the $5 people in them, you know, maybe once every other month or so. We did it once a while ago, but then I haven't gotten around to doing it again. So I'll do better about that. Magenta, magenta. Turquoise? Underpainting mystifies you. Okay, Carrie. So I know a lot of people are confused by underpainting, and I think that the vast majority of that is because we put way too much. Thought into it. We think it can't be as easy as Jane makes it sound. So there's got to be something mysterious to it that I'm just not grasping. And it really is that easy. It really is. you pick whatever color you want. So when I say we don't want to do green, blue, or gray for a green, blue, or gray painting, that's typically the rule that I follow, but that doesn't mean that you can't. You could. I tend to like bright, vibrant, bold, in-your-face colors that completely almost conflict with the colors that go on top. But that's because that's what I prefer, not because that's what you should do or that that's the right way. You're even free to just reach into your paint, grab a random color, slap it down, and say that that's your underpainting. You can do that. There's no law that says you can't do that. We're getting a lot of magenta and orange. Hello, Sylvie. Welcome. Gretchen again with all the colors that I don't have. So let's do orange. So many requests for orange. Okay. What is that? Cad Red Light. Do we want to do Cad Red Light? You guys tell me what you think. So there's Cad Red Light or Cad Orange. Which one should we do? You tell me. I do love Gamboge, but I don't have any Gamboge paint. I don't think Liquitex makes a Gamboge, but in watercolor I use it a lot. Orange, orange, Cad Red, orange. Okay, mostly everybody's saying orange, so that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna do it quick because underpaintings don't have to be pretty. They don't have to be even, they just have to be on there. So a little strip of paint, my 1 inch, and because I'm working on paper, I can actually use a little extra water. I don't have to worry about underbinding. I guess I do have to worry about drying time though, don't I? This should probably be dry before we move on, so hopefully I didn't put so much water in it that it's gonna be wet for hours and hours. I guess if it takes a minute to dry, I can show you what I'm working on for next week. All right, there is our orange underpainting. Orange is a good underpainting for this because probably the primary color we're going to use is blue, right? And orange is the opposite of blue. So, but you could do magenta, you could do green if you really wanted. I don't feel like green would add anything real interesting to the painting, so I probably wouldn't, but you could. You could use bright red, bright yellow, brown. I mean, you can underpaint it in any color you want. So please trust me when I say that underpainting is not mysterious. You really can just do what you want. Yeah, it does really suck up the paint quickly, which is kind of nice for this because then I don't have to wait too terribly long. Yeah, like see, look, that's already dry right there. So we won't have to wait too long for it to dry. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, yellow ochre would be really awesome for a sunset. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's jump back over to here real quick and I'll show you what I'm working on for next week. Now, guys, please don't be too terribly disappointed. It's not done, okay? But I'm going to show you. So next week's painting, it's not done yet, like I said, and I think my footage that I'm editing is already, it's about 2.5 hours long, so it's going to be a little bit of a long video. So here's what I have done so far. Try not to be too disappointed. Yay! Don't pretend like you're not impressed. Anyway. So, what are we doing next on our ocean? I like that nobody has any reactions. Don't be too excited. I know you guys are lying if you guys are like, that's incredible. You're lying. Okay. Yeah, what are the big black lines on there? What's that all about? It's a mystery. Anyway, yeah, see? My son is much more honest. Different? Yeah. You guys are sweet. Okay. We'll talk about it again in a little bit. What are we going to do on this next? So we've agreed on an ocean, or like a seascape type painting. So I'm not incredibly strong on seascapes, but you know, I'm willing to do this for you guys. So what are we going to do next? What kind of colors do we want to use? Shannon, it's actually not what I had planned for this week, but because we went camping and then it just got away from me. I am still working on the lighthouse that I told you guys about. There's like 1 or 2 parts that overall I'm happy with it. There's just 1 or 2 parts where I can't figure out the technique that I want to use. And so that one little part is kind of fighting with me. And I may just kill that one part altogether just in an effort to get it out, because I don't know how I would do this one part. So hopefully that'll be next week. It was supposed to be this week. I don't have phthalo turquoise. More water? Oh yeah, more water or more sky. So that would dictate where our, yeah, that's pretty much dry, where our horizon is. So we can put a horizon up really high, and that puts the emphasis on the water. We can put the horizon really low, and that puts the emphasis on the sky. Unless this were like super abstract, I personally would avoid putting the horizon right in the middle, because that's boring. I think it's boring. And it doesn't give you much to look at or think about, but that's just my opinion. So let's see. More water, more water. Oh, a wave. I don't do waves well. I really don't do waves well, guys. A high horizon, that's kind of what it sounds like. Okay. I'm going to sketch. You know, some of you like it when I sketch. Some of you have panic attacks when I sketch. It's good for you. And I think I'm going to sketch with phthalo blue, because it's a nice dark color. Let's see. High with lots of beach. Stormy. Rocks. I like rocks. A slanty perspective from the beach. I don't know. I don't understand that. Tell me what you mean. Eileen, that's your app, man. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so I'm going to use my 1/2 inch. I was going to use my scrubber 1/2 inch, but I don't know what happened to it, you guys. I haven't been able to find it in forever. So it's my paint is pretty wet. See, I kind of underbound it. And I'm just going to start sketching and kind of feeling pokey grass bits. I'm just going to kind of start sketching out. So maybe our horizon right in here somewhere. I know that looks like grass, but that's okay. What if we have, let's see, beachy bits. Burnt umber and phthalo. It's always a good time for burnt umber and phthalo. What if we have like a... I'm trying to think of how the perspective on that would go. If we had like a cliff, like a grassy cliff, how would the perspective on that be? I think, pretty sure our cliff would be up higher, right? Maybe there's more water here. Maybe there's another rock. Maybe some beach that kind of comes around like this. And then how about this? I can change any of this, guys. I'm just kind of going on like just a thought pattern that I'm kind of following. So, but I can change it. How about we do kind of a ground here that we're standing on. So this is all like a cliff up here, and our ocean, maybe like I said, another rock kind of protruding out. Maybe this is a little bit of a beach tucked away, and then this is the ground we're standing on. We're up on another cliff, kind of looking down at the ocean. Tell me what you think about that, and I can change that if you like. A cove. That's exactly the word that I used. Thank you, Jennifer. I didn't use that word, but you're right. That's what it is. I don't know if ever being in my head is a good thing. It's kind of a weird place. I feel like this is wrong. I feel like that's wrong. Hang on. I am going to look on my phone and see what I can find, because I'm really feeling like that is just not the perspective. Let's see. I'm on Pixabay. Cliffs, ocean. Let's see what comes up here. Nothing. Come on. This is what came up. Nothing. Come on. There's 3,000 images. I can't see one of them. Maybe my internet's not down. You guys are still watching me. No, it's not working. Stupid Pixabay. Okay, well, we're just going to pretend that that's exactly what cliffs look like, okay? Everybody just agree that that's how the perspective would work. All right, let's get some water for our ocean. Do we want like a really, I'm kind of picturing like a really peaceful, soft colored scene. What do you guys think? Do we like that idea? And the reason I'm thinking a kind of a peaceful, soft color is because we have that hot, intense, vibrant orange underpainting. And so if I went really vibrant on top of that, I mean, you could, but I really like the contrast. So if my underpainting is really kind of a muted color, then I probably want something more vibrant on top of it, and vice versa. I can't do any of that while I'm broadcasting. Internet stuff. Yeah, I know. I don't know why lately it says that my internet connection sucks. It doesn't. We pay Comcast for like super internet, and I'm plugged directly into my modem, so there's no reason that we should have any buffering. It's really, really irritating. So that's some burnt umber. And What else? Should we put some Payne's Gray in? What about some phthalo green? You guys tell me on the phthalo green, yes or no. I don't know if I want to use phthalo green or not. Okay. Okay. And somebody said, what was it, Carrie? Ow, my foot is asleep. Light violet for the cliffs. Violet could be interesting. I'll throw some deep violet in there. That'll be a nice contrast to the orange too. Okay. Let's start working on the water. Guys, please try not to be disappointed in my ocean skills. There's a reason we don't paint a lot of oceans. Because I'm not great at them. If I did it more often, I'm sure that it would be better. But I don't do it very often. Okay, this is going to start our eyeballs on fire. There we go. A little bit of Payne's Gray. And I'm not going to put out the purple just yet because I'm going to work on the water right now. I think I'm going to stick with my 1/2 inch. You know, we're going to need some matte medium. Well, Kathy, you guys never say you're disappointed, but I'm sure that every once in a while you're like, I came here for that. You guys saw next week's painting, right? I mean, it's not very exciting. If you didn't see it, here it is again. That's true, Lisa. Absolutely. Okay, so 1/2 inch. I'm going to get some white. Maybe not a ton of white. Just some phthalo blue. Let's drab it down with some Payne's Gray. We need to drab it down a little bit more. So let's throw some burnt umber in there. Ooh, yeah. That's what Mom was looking for. That's true. It's not done yet. Oh, it's a different version? It's the same version. I promise. It's the same version. What did I show you before? Did I show you the wrong canvas? I showed you this, right? Isn't that what I showed you? I think you guys are just confused. I showed you the same one. Blue, Payne's, burnt umber. Are you guys confused? Oh, I know what you're talking about. So, here, this is why you guys are confused. So there's that, and I don't have 3 arms because if I did, then I could show you the whole thing all at once. So all right, so yes, we're doing a triptych. So it's our first triptych. So that's why I'm like, you guys are like, oh, I love it. I'm like, don't lie. It's just the bottom of a painting and it's totally not done. So this one is going to have like, there's going to be more paintings in there, or more paintings. There's going to be more trees in here. I was really hoping I could have it done today before we got together, but that didn't happen. So yes, painting goats. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like it. And those of you who were like all disappointed at first, I'm glad now you like it. Okay, let's just sketch some of this dark color in there. I'm kind of using that 1/2 foot pressure. you know, just kind of laying my brush flat and scooting it. I just picked up some white there. And remember, with an underpainting, it's okay if it shows through. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of doing an underpainting, is allowing it to show through. I'm glad that you guys like it. It's been a really fun one to do. I'm just picking up white still. Hopefully my water isn't crooked, you know, sitting completely sideways. I get crooked paintings quite a bit. I think blending like this is interesting because look at all that texture that you get. You know, rather than trying to go like this and blend, or doing like this, which gives you a really flat looking surface. Just pick up some white, maybe a little matte medium, flat brush. It's just laying on the paper, and then I'm just kind of like scratching it across. And I like that for water because, see, however, once in a while I get little breaks with some white. To me, it kind of looks like maybe there's some distant waves breaking in there. Yeah, they're 12 by 16. But it could be done, you know, you could, I'm still just picking up white here. It could be done with, you know, anything. You could do it on one canvas. You could do it on 5 by 7s, you know, whatever. I think using a brush like this is kind of like a happy medium to using a palette knife. I know that orange is still pretty intense, but I'm not gonna worry about it just yet. Maybe I'll throw, shout out ideas whenever you guys have them, okay? I'll kind of get lost in my own little world. So that's what happens. I'll get lost in my own little world and I'll just paint and it'll seem like I'm not talking to you at all. But then I'll look back and I'll go through chat and kind of see what you guys are saying. The waves, it's, you know, it really is simple. What you have to do, I pulled a little phthalo green in there too. Let's kind of mix it up a bit. So I'm just changing that color a little. You have to be open to doing things different than you've ever done them before. And you have to be open to things, what things do when you get frustrated and throw a tantrum. Because let's be real, we all get frustrated and throw tantrums, me included. And when you go, oh, I don't even care. And then you're like, oh, wait, oh, that was kind of cool. Let's see what happens if I, oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. Now you just learned a technique. That's probably exactly how I learned that one, was just being frustrated and slashing paint on my canvas, probably with some rougher language than I typically use with you. Nothing too rough, but some choice words at my canvas. So a little bit of white there. When I say I'm laying it flat, I'm just like, the brush really is just laying flat on my canvas, and I'm just kind of holding it enough so that I can move it side to side. I'm not putting pressure on it. The only pressure on my brush is the weight of the brush on the paper. Actually, you know what I think I want to do? I don't need to have a perfectly angular or a perfectly horizontal ocean. I'm just grabbing random mixes of those colors, guys. I'm going to bring this dark down a little lower on this side. There. That's going to be much, much better. The water is deeper out here, and it gets more shallow as it comes toward the beach. Now I can pick up my white and my matte medium. Super light pressure there. Drag those together a bit. Now that orange is starting to be covered, but it still peeks through. And I think that that kind of helps give a warmth to the water that otherwise we wouldn't have. These are all very, very cold colors. And so that little bit of orange under there kind of helps keep a bit of warmth in it. Let's get a little bit more white. Kind of scrub along the edge of that cove. That's our cove. A little more white. Not terrible. You guys started chanting for seascapes. I was like, oh no. But that's not too bad. All right, let's see what I missed out on. Poor Carrie. Yeah, Deb, it really is very automatic. So I encourage you to try that. You know, I'm not terribly practiced at this, so I didn't just make that look awesome because I'm awesome and do this all the time and just know exactly what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go along. Get a little bit of a darker color because I feel like right in here, this is all too light. I know that's super dark. I'm not worried about that. Super light pressure. It's easier sometimes when I'm not looking directly at my painting. Those of you who have been to this a lot, you know that sometimes I like to paint looking at the camera on my computer and not at my canvas because I see it differently than I do looking directly at it. I do that sometimes when I'm recording too. There's a lot of times where I am looking at the little viewfinder on my camera more than I am looking at the painting on my easel. And I know that, you know, not everybody has a camera they can set up and turn on when they're recording, but you could take a mirror and set it up next to you, so kind of at an angle so that it's reflecting your painting, and kind of look in the mirror and paint by looking in your mirror and not looking at your canvas. I think that it's I think it's a good challenge, but it's not even necessarily, I need to clean off my brush. It's not even necessarily that it's a challenge. It just helps you see things in a different way that you otherwise wouldn't see. Let's see. Gotta clean off my brush and then I'll scroll through chat because I know I missed a lot. You guys are on fire today. I know those days, Deb, when nothing cooperates. Wow. Sydney, no, that's up to you. You don't have to always underpaint. I don't always underpaint. There's a lot of times that I don't. And remember when I said don't use the same colors for your underpainting that you're going to use for the painting on top? Well, guess what? In next week's painting that I showed you, the underpainting is the same color as all of the parts on top. I'm just taking some pure white here. So the only rule in art, period, is that there are no rules. You know, there are guidelines that make things easier or better or, you know, more structurally sound. But ultimately, you can do whatever you want. Even if I say, no, you should never do that, you can do it if you want to. Okay, let's take a little bit of a break from that. Usually when I go from one element to the next in a painting, I have to take a break so that I can kind of mentally shift gears. Yeah, I really like the color that I ended up with on that ocean. I think to you guys it looks a little bit greener than I really see it, but it's just a mix of the burnt umber, phthalo blue, phthalo green, and Payne's gray. So yeah, it's a good color. Oh, Jennifer's husband, thank you. Yeah, we're going to put some big rocks in the water. Absolutely. Absolutely. A kraken, maybe, we'll see. That would come last. Yeah, Deb, absolutely. And that was why I actually underpainted this one with the exact same colors that I'm trying to find one where you can clearly see the underpainting. Let me go over to here. So on this one, I did underpaint it with the colors I was going to use on top. So I didn't have to worry about the white spots, but in parts like right here, that's all the underpainting. So not only did I not have to worry about white spots, but I didn't even have to worry about covering all of it. I just did the clouds where I wanted them. So where you see these more like stratified lines, that's my underpainting. So, you know, as you gain a little bit more experience with it and you know what an underpainting does, what you can use it for, whatever, then you'll start to be able to make educated decisions, you know, to say, in this one, I want my underpainting to be the same color, you know, for these reasons. But don't let that overwhelm you. Just go with your gut instinct on underpainting. And if you feel like you have no idea what color you would underpaint something, maybe it doesn't need an underpainting. Yeah, Gretchen, the phthalos are really nice for mixing. They're really great mixing colors. I mean, phthalo blue I will occasionally use on its own. Depends on what I'm doing. Phthalo green I next to never use on its own. It's just such a strong color. But for mixing, yeah, you can't beat the phthalos for mixing. Yeah, Clash of the Titans. I love that movie. When I remember being a little kid and just loved that movie so much. I thought Medusa was so cool. I don't know if you guys are surprised by that. I'm like 5 and I'm like all, yeah, it's Medusa. She did scare me though, but I liked her. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's drop in our beach. I'm not exactly sure what I want on this beach, but we'll just kind of drop it in and see what happens with it. I don't care for burnt umber on its own either. That's another one of those colors that I can't live without, but I next to never use it on its own. So, but you know what makes a really great beach color with burnt umber? Is of course the color that I can't find. And I'm gonna break myself in half trying to find it. Owie. I got a bigger bucket for all my paint, thinking it would make it easier. Oh. And it didn't. I took this bucket with us camping so that I could put all of my paint stuff in it. And of course it was filled to the brim. Where are you? What the heck? Well, I have this tube that's, there's Olaf. He's not allowed over here anymore, so you won't see Olaf today. I have this tube that's almost empty. I really like yellow oxide or yellow ochre mixed with a little bit of burnt umber. And yeah, I would typically use unbleached, but I've already started using white, and I kind of feel like, I don't know, I kind of feel like unbleached and white clash. Like, I don't know. I don't like to use one to lighten something, but use the other to lighten everything else. I'm sure it's fine. It's just how I feel about it. Oh, thanks, Donna. I like that one too. Nobody else seemed to really like that one. Hey, Olaf, can you get out of here? Maybe go to the other room with that? Olaf? Hang on, guys. Sorry. Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. What was I saying? No, he was not. He has allergies, and so he chews his feet really bad. And when he like gets going on it, he won't listen to me, and I can't listen to him doing that. So I had to make him leave the room. We went to Antelope Island. I have some pictures I can share with you guys too. Let's knock in our little cove beach here though, and then we'll do that. So some yellow oxide, some burnt umber. That's way too much paint over there. There we go. Nice sandy type color. Maybe I'm going to throw just a hint of phthalo green in there and see what happens. Just kind of drabs it down a little bit more. I like that. Some white. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll just kind of slide it together with the water. I'm not trying to keep them real separate, but I'm not trying to blend them either. Let's bring that back this way more. And let's go a little bit darker. I'm not sure what's going on up in here where that's going to meet, but we'll figure that out. I'm going to throw a little Payne's Gray in there too. Heck yes, that's what I was missing, was some Payne's Gray. We'll just kind of let that dry for a few minutes before we mess with it again. Let's get a little more Payne's Gray. Maybe a little bit of burnt umber. Get our rocks going. Oh yeah, we wanted some violet in there. I can still add that in. We'll just start off with that. You haven't been to Antelope Island? Man, if you live in this state, you have to go to Antelope Island. It's the best. It is my favorite place in this state, hands down. I love Antelope Island. And yes, we saw antelope and lots of bison. There was a bison walking through our campground. Like, I probably could have thrown a rock and hit him. Not that I would have. Not that I'm that good of an aim. But that's how close this bison was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We heard coyotes howling. So on the 20th, during that big full moon that we had, it was just coming up over the mountains, over the Wasatch Mountains. and there was like a little trail of a cloud in front of it, and we were outside taking pictures of it, and there's coyotes howling everywhere, and it was so cool. It was really, really an awesome experience. So I haven't cleaned off my brush here, and yeah, we'll do that too. I just need to start blocking everything in. There's my deep violet, just with my messy brush. See, we'll get a nice muted purple. We won't get a bright, you know, phony looking purple. A little white, little Payne's gray. I guess I didn't want that much white. I want more Payne's gray. Let's darken it a bit. So grab a bit more of that color. There we go. Let's start with that. Throw a little bit of some Payne's gray in there. Get my dark value going. But yeah, I have some photos I'll show you guys in just a minute. Just kind of did a mixture of Payne's gray, burnt umber, and deep violet. Let's get some of that in here too. Yeah, they do tent camping too. There were actually people camping in tents while we were there, and it was pretty cold, and it was raining. It rained on us most of the time we were there. So I felt kind of bad for the people in tents, but hey man, they chose to do it and they stuck it out, so good for them. Okay. I know our cliff looks really, really juvenile right now. It's okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, so I'll show you guys a couple of photos. This is my stupid Pinterest, whatever it is, wasn't working. Go away, Pixabay. Here's one of the sunsets that we had here. Here was one of our sunsets. Nice, huh? And then that moon. Did you guys, oh, there's the bison in our campground. Did you guys see the moon when it was so big? It was so huge. Oh, and then I have to show you this because it's really cute. This is Mr. Moon walking on a leash. Keep going. He was super excited to be out walking on his leash. I know you would think that a cat wouldn't, but he was pretty stoked. Come on. No. See, he even listened to me. I told him not to go that way, and he changed and went the other way. Whoa, that's really bright. Yeah. So Mr. Moon got to go walking on his leash, and he loved it, even though you would think that he wouldn't. Okay, I just want to find the picture of that moon, and then we'll get back to it. I didn't think I took that many photos. Ah, yes, here it is. So imagine looking at this and hearing coyotes howl. It was so awesome. I know you can't see that real well, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And there were coyotes everywhere. It would have been creepy if it weren't so dang awesome. Okay, let's go back to this. Enough of my blather. You guys don't come here for the blather. You come here for the really juvenile looking cliffs. That's the good stuff. All right, I'm going to stick with this. Let's get our sky in because I think that'll help pull everything else together as if we get our sky in. Do we need a stormy sky or do we need a bright sky? What kind of sky do we want to see? Oh, bats. Yeah, we didn't hear any bats. That would have been awesome. You come here for the blather. Stormy. Bright? Cindy said bright? Wow. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for stormy. 1, 2, 3 for bright. No, not too stormy. Maybe like gray and a little overcast is what I'm, is kind of what I'm thinking. Sun setting, I think we've already kind of set the stage for our water to not be a sunset. We would have had to have planned for that in putting the water in. Because the water would be lighter in the distance and darker toward us if the sun were setting. Well, but I don't necessarily mean stormy. Just gray. Yeah, maybe clearing, you know, just kind of one of those calm days where the sky is really gray, but there's not, you know, it's not windy. Let's try it out and see what happens. We'll just start and see where it goes. We can change it. Somebody outside is like really bumping some killer tunes. And I get to share in that joy. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. I'm just mixing like a mixture of the phthalo blue, burnt umber, Payne's gray, and some white and some matte medium. Kind of using the corner of my brush. Other corner, that corner was all used up. Let's kind of go, maybe let's go a little half and half. I just picked up some white there. Kind of scratch it into there. Same-ish technique as in the water. So I'm using the corner, but I went flat and kind of scooted it to the side like I did in the water, and then just break up those lines with the corner. And maybe it looks like a clearing sky. What do we think? We have to throw just a little hint more phthalo blue in there, just to brighten up this one part. And then we can have half a blue sky and half a stormy sky. Do want to be careful not to go over my water too much. Maybe we'll just have a nice bright horizon there. A moon. Let's see if we can fit a moon in there somewhere. Let's go back toward gray then. Just a hint more gray, a little less blue. Not really any darker, just a little less blue. Let's try something here. This could be the complete undoing of this entire painting. Like a little bit of a misty, moon just coming over the horizon, maybe. I'm going to have to touch up that water anyway because I keep bumping into it. Oh, that just doesn't look like anything at all, does it? We'll come back to it. That paint's pretty thick. A little matte medium. I'll kind of... That's mostly matte medium. All right, we gotta let that dry. I almost destroyed it. Oh yeah, Sydney, totally, huh? We are actually getting ready to go there. To Northern California. We're gonna be taking a long trip in our little camper. So we'll be gone for, I don't know. We don't know how long we'll be gone. A couple weeks to a month, month and a half or so. And yeah, the cliff looks better now that we've put the sky in, but the cliff still looks like a 3-year-old did it. But it's okay. Just remember, it's okay if it looks like a 3-year-old did it and you're not happy with it, as long as you know you're not done and you're going to keep working on it. Oh, mid-June, fun. I think we'll probably be home by then. I assume we'll be home by then. Let's see. I think we need to let everything dry a bit. What's going on here? Yeah, that's pretty wet too. I guess we could block in. Let's block in the ground here close. I'm kind of picturing this grassy because I feel like maybe it's part of this piece of land. So, you know, we've got like our cove here and it just comes around. So we are up above the water here just as high as this is up above the water here. And I kind of pictured having this be grassy, almost like the cliffs in England. But that's my idea. Do you guys have a different idea to do here? Grassy? Okay. Anybody else? Grassy, grassy, grassy. Let's use... grassy, okay. I am not going to use phthalo green. Carrie, we'll put some rocks in there too. I'm not going to use phthalo green for the grass because I don't like phthalo green for grass. So I have a little more phthalo blue. I'm going to grab a bit of that and we'll mix it in here with the yellow oxide because I get kind of a neutrally type of grass. I still feel like that's a little vibrant compared to everything else I have going on here. So let's see what happens if I throw a little purple into it. A little of this deep violet. Just kind of graze it down a little bit. I like that. Matte medium. Yeah, we'll throw some rocks in. And then, you know, remember that the bright orange underpainting is going to help change whatever color you put on top of it too. We'll bring that around there. Let's darken it just a little as it comes away from the edge of the cliff. Little burnt umber. Whoa, I got carried away there. Well, it's darker.